strong, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Thailand. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. All right, guys, welcome back to Building for Generation. It is your boy Tenacious Dudley here. We are here on May the 22nd, 2022. Oh my God, time is flying by. Being too cautious is the greatest risk of all. Make your dreams reality now. Time, telling you, time is ticking, guys. Time is the number one currency. Use it now. Without commitment, you will never start. More importantly, without consistency, you will never finish. Do more in this life. Welcome back to Building for Generations. We are here, alive, present, and on our journey to 3,000 strong, limitless business leaders who will stop at nothing with building wealth for themselves and their families. Today, we want to talk about emotional intelligence. I wanted to do an episode on this. It's going to be very brief. Just talk about a little bit about emotional intelligence in business. Just starting out in my career path with changing my major from being a physical education teacher, not really wanting to go into the schooling system and be sedentary for the rest of my life and be just a teacher. I wanted to impact more people. There's several things that I had to prepare myself for and change my mindset. And it was a huge mindset from some sports, from being a tenacious badass and just going out and running and just kicking ass in wrestling and football and rugby to the business world. A lot of that tenacity, has, definitely helped me out. But also I had to equip myself with emotional intelligence. As I changed my major to accounting in 2013, a lot of people were like, wow, that's, a huge, flip, a huge thing, but I wanted to make a bigger impact. So in changing my major, I had to change my Facebook. I had to stop posting crazy stuff. I had to stop, saying weird, things or anything I wanted to say on social media. I had to change my mindset because again, I know people perceive me as a certain way, but I also wanted to build myself up into being the ideal businessman, right, for myself. So I had to change a couple of things, and again, the number one thing for me that I'm reflecting on is my emotional intelligence. A lot of people that I talk to now that see me grow and see me in high school and college, and they commend me on like, man, you've changed a lot, and you've grown. You're able to listen and really absorb, what's going on around you. So it took me some time to learn this emotional intelligence. One thing that I had to sacrifice with changing my major to accounting in college is just my social being. I still, talk to to most of the same people, but not really, to be honest with you. I had to really separate myself from the cool kids, the people who wanted to play spades and stuff all day. I wanted, success. So I had to get myself in order and I had to surround myself with the right people, business minded people who were sharp, who would get, straight A's. I started getting straight A's and it became second nature to me. Who would get up in front of crowds and lead a crowd and give a speech or give a presentation with authority. I've seen all of that within, changing my major to accounting and throughout the business world, through going through a fraternity, going to big conferences, seeing men speak with authority and demand the room. Again, I had to change my vision and my mindset. Like, oh, this is possible for me to do. Then, like, I see this man doing it. I can be similar. So it's very important for me to again surround myself with those things that I wanted to become. Um, One of those things when I did, get into college. I joined a fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. I'm an Alpha, and we have a really good leadership base. But then also with any type of group, you have your people who just don't get it yet, right? So how do you kind of deal with those people who you still care about, who you have brotherhood with, or people in your company? When I worked at Grant Thornton in public accounting, you had leaders who were badasses, but then you had those slackers or those people who really didn't know how to socially accept you. How do you deal with it? How do you kind of manage that? So just going into my experience at in public accounting, that was more so people not knowing what to expect out of me, people really thinking that I was one thing based off of what they seen on TV, and when I opened my mouth, I had intelligence about me that I knew, that I had to be held to a higher standard and I had to act, appropriately. But it was really just ease for me because I was already shaped and groomed once I got to that level, to communicate on that level and to, really craft my articulation and how I spoke to people and how I got things done and how I asked for certain things. That was really important. You don't want to get into a place where you service a lot of people or you got to deal with a lot of groups and you're asking question after question. They really want you to really say, hey, this is, what I've done. This is kind of where I'm at. This is where I'm stuck at. Versus, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Just help me. It's a different, approach that I had to learn with just dealing with how to communicate with people via email. Especially, you have to be very detailed in the email, but not be too drawn out, to where you can get your point across and get things done in a certain manner. So I learned that, within, my first couple of years in public accounting. And also before that in college, I learned that as well, through just sending out emails to professors and stuff. I was really good at that. So I landed my first job at Eastern Illinois as I sent the email to the director of the food services, and I got my first job my freshman year just by communicating effectively. So, um, going back into the emotional intelligence piece, within public accounting, I like to hold my tongue. A lot of things happen in public accounting that I wasn't, necessarily prepared for or privy to, that I have to deal with, and I have to deal with a couple, people just being very like rude, and I really couldn't react like I wanted to eat to because of the situation and just the position I was in, right? Me being an audit associate, I wasn't in the best position to, speak out. But I wish I would have spoke out more and spoke more clearly about the treatment. Altogether, it wasn't like super bad, but behind the scene, behind any company, you have those bad apples. So you kind of have to learn how to still work with them and get stuff done. So that really taught me a lesson. Going back to my fraternity, it's a lot of things in our brotherhood that is great, that is awesome, but there's a lot of things that need work, right? That's with any group or organization. But how do you still get things done while still working with difficult people, right? So it's something that I really had to craft, and I'm still dealing with it till today. Now that I'm building out a team within Dudley Accounting Services and hiring on full time, I have to open up myself to be able to accept somebody's emotions, accept somebody's excuses, and not cut them right off as soon as they give me an excuse. Oh, they're not, and this is the way I used to think. Oh, they're not like me. Their priorities are screwed up. They're just not aligned with me. So I'll just cut them off, right? And move on to the next person. But you really have to sacrifice and take a position of understanding that people make excuses because they want to avoid responsibility. It has really nothing to do with you and the way they feel about you. They don't want to be accountable for that responsibility at that time. So people make excuses. Even myself, I make excuses. It's humanly normal as a social, as us being social beings, that we make, excuses. But again, that's why we surround ourselves with limitless badasses who rarely make excuses, who know what making an excuse is, that it gets you nowhere, and that excuses are monuments of nothing. They build bridges to nowhere, and those who use these tools of incompetence are masters of nothing. These limitless badasses like you who are watching this video, you know what's up. You know where we need to go in this life, and you have to really be understanding when people are not at your level, or their priorities are different, right? So I was reading a book and it was saying that people may not be people may be aligned with you, right? But their priorities are staggered differently than you. So you might be a limitless badass, but your priorities might be not my priorities at that time. So we have to come together, and I have to learn how to be patient on my end to when you are ready to come into the fold or to come and do some projects or anything together. I have to be patient with that, and that's one hard thing to kind of just eat when you're trying to build out. And so much, so much opportunity is out here, and you want people to take advantage, but you have to really learn how to motivate people to do what they already to do what they already should be doing, right? To motivate them to want to do what they should be doing is the word. So emotional intelligence is key, especially in a service-based business. Again, I'm going on another tangent, but dealing with clients, the clients have different temperaments, right? You need to learn how to deal with, difficult client and difficult people. You need to learn how to talk to different difficult people. Some people can pull you into a situation to where it's a combative conversation where you have to learn. And I've learned a lot from just sitting back and listening, and then watching the way that I react, because you control how you react ultimately. So this has been a really short, and I'm trying to keep really brief for you guys, but emotional intelligence is one of the keys in maintaining your sanity. Um, to be quite frank with you guys, but maintain your emotional intelligence. Be a tenacious badass. Go out there and do it. Like, because we only got so much time. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Go ahead and like and subscribe to Building for Generations. There's more stuff coming. I'll see you guys next Sunday at 8 p.m.